Beyond the Tiara, modern women redefining pearls as a personal, powerful statement. Forget what you were taught about pearls. Forget the image of obedient strands resting politely on a collarbone. The idea that pearls belong exclusively to brides, duchesses, or women standing silently beside power rather than holding it themselves. A lover of pearls, Cleopatra had pearl-encrusted dresses, jewelry, and shoes. She even wore them in her hair. But still, you should forget the assumption that pearls are gentle, passive, inherited, or even worse, decorative. Because beauty was not her sole intention. Because something shifted, not violently, but it just happened decisively. Across fashion, culture, and personal expression, modern women are reclaiming pearls, not as symbols of tradition, but as instruments of self-reflection and self-definition. Pearls are no longer worn to signal compliance with old codes of elegance. They are chosen deliberately by women who understand exactly what they are doing. This is not nostalgia and not even a revival. This is a reinterpretation. To understand why pearls have returned and why they feel different now. So we must first understand what pearls have always been beneath their polished surface. Pearls were never innocent. Pearls are often described as soft, pure, feminine, but that description is incomplete and historically very inaccurate. Unlike gemstones extracted violently from earth, pearls are formed through irritation. A foreign body enters a living organism and the mollusk responds not by expelling it, but by coating it layer by layer and transforming intrusion into beauty. This process takes years, sometimes decades, and sometimes it kills the host. A pearl is not created because conditions are perfect. It exists because something went wrong and was endured. And ancient civilizations understood this intuitively. In Persian mythology, pearls were believed to be born where rainbows touched the sea, their imperfections blamed on thunder and lightning. In India, pearls were associated with the moon and sacred marriage. And right straight to the Far East, in China, pearls symbolized wisdom and spiritual power, often guarded by dragons, never passive creatures, always sovereign ones. Pearls were never merely decorative. They were cosmological, moral, and political. So, when Roman elites obsessed over pearls, it was not because they were delicate. It was because they were rare, dangerous to obtain, and impossible to imitate. Pearl diving required breath holding, risk, and often death. Ownership implied power over human labor and natural uncertainty. Cleopatra understood this when she dissolved a pearl into vinegar to win a wager, not only to show beauty, but she also wanted to show her dominance. Cleopatra hosted a lavish banquet for Mark Antony, the Roman politician, to prove that Egyptians' wealth surpassed Romans. When Antony doubted that the feast could justify such a claim, Cleopatra responded with a dramatic gesture. So, in front of the entire court, she removed one of her priceless pearl earrings, dropped the pearl into a goblet of vinegar, and drank it as it dissolved. By consuming a fortune in a single act, she demonstrated that true wealth was not measured by possessions, but by the power to treat even the most valuable treasures as expendable. The moment stunned Antony, secured her victory in the wager, and became a lasting symbol of Cleopatra's audacity, intelligence, and command of power. Julius Caesar restricted pearl ownership because they disrupted social hierarchies. Can you believe that? Actually, pearls frightened men in power. because they signaled independent wealth worn on women's body. This matters because pearls have always carried tension, and what changed is who is allowed to wield it. Pearls were absorbed into royal imagery. They became fixed in portraits, coronation regalia, and inherited strands passed from mother to daughter. So over time, this association flattened its meaning. Pearls became symbols of continuity, restraint, and respectability, and eventually of expectation. They were born not because a woman chose them, but because she was supposed to, and because they matched the role, because they signaled safety. And this is where the grandmother's pearls stereotype was born, not necessarily from age but from the obligation. But we, the modern women, are not interested in obligations for sure. We are interested in the intentional acts, and this freedom changes how an object behaves. The new pearl power play. Today's pearl does not sit politely. It interrupts, even in the most irrelevant concepts that we decided to make them relevant. It appears oversized, irregular, baroque, and asymmetrical by design. It is layered with chains, worn against leather, paired with masculine tailoring or even bearskin. It was worn solo, excessively, or even incorrectly on purpose. And this is not accidental styling. It is intentional disobedience. Women wearing pearls today are not trying to look refined. We already are. What we are doing is reclaiming authorship over time and over symbols. Authorship over symbols that once defined us. And who can complain that it's not fun? Entrepreneurs wear pearls to board meetings, not to soften authority, but to complicate it. Artists wear pearls as counterpoints, and for them, it's more of an organic matter against sharp ideas. Activists wear pearls as irony, knowing exactly how history reads them, and choosing to somehow subvert it. Is the question no longer, are pearls appropriate? The question actually is, who is wearing them and why? Because pearls do not change, but context does. And in this new era, you are open to exploring so many contexts, with respect to its core, of course. But with this audacity to put on your judgmental glasses, beyond the bling, what is the unseen strength of pearls? Pearls are the only gems created by living beings. The fact alone sets them apart. They are not cut, they are not faceted, or not corrected. And pretty much their value does not lie in perfection. Baroque pearls, for example, once dismissed as flawed, are now sought after precisely because no two are alike. And this is how our standards can shift over time. Or Tahitian pearls carry darkness and depth, their colors shifting between charcoal, green, and aubergine. Freshwater pearls multiply slowly, patiently, each carrying subtle differences. In a world obsessed with standardization and filters, pearls offer something radical, individuality that cannot be replicated. This is why ethically sourced pearls have gained significance, not as marketing tools, but as philosophical alignment. Pearls require time, care, and restraint, because they cannot be rushed without losing quality. So for women, increasingly conscious of how their choices reflect their values, pearls make sense. As you see, they are not extractive luxury, they are cultivated luxury. And that distinction matters now more than ever. Pearls in contemporary fashion. We like to think trends automatically happen. Like there is always a mastermind sitting behind TV screens or news dictating to do the world what you should do and what you shouldn't and what you should expect next. But in terms of society and history, let me say the dynamics of organic changes. And as we talked earlier, both on website and here in previous videos, people and society and economy or anything out here, let's say the non-human factors, are affecting each other. So it's pretty much safe to say that fashion does not revive pearls. women do. On runways, for example, pearls now appear fractured, oversized, misaligned. In street style, where you can see everywhere, they are worn with denim, tattoos. Men wear pearls openly, rejecting rigid gender codes. Designers, they integrate pearls into unexpected structures, ear cuffs, body chains, and knits. But the most interesting pearl styling does not come from designers. It comes from individuals who understand that elegance today is not about compliance but coherence. Wearing pearls without apology, wearing them daily, wearing them alone, breaking the rule that pearls must be worn like this or that, or pearls must be saved for occasions, or breaking the rule that pearls must match, breaking the rule that pearls must behave, because rules are only useful when you choose them. The conscious choice, and why women are choosing pearls now. It is psychological. This return to pearls is not cyclical fashion nostalgia. It is psychological. In an era of fast trends, fast content, and fast consumption, pearls demand a slowness. They resist instant gratification. They carry memory. They age with the wearer rather than against her. So studies consistently show that people increasingly prefer meaningful experiences and objects with narrative depth over novelty. Pearls by nature require a story. They cannot exist without time. For women navigating hyper-digital lives, pearls offer grounding. They are tactile, organic, quietly resistant to disposability. So choosing pearls today is not about a status. It's about authorship. Because it says clear and loud, I am not performing elegance. I am defining it. So can I name some pearls that refuse to be ordinary? You should follow this interesting part carefully. The Hope Pearl. Among the countless pearls that history has produced, few embody this tension between rarity and also mystery and individuality as powerfully as the Hope Pearl. Collected by Henry Philip Hope in the early 19th century, the same man associated with the legendary Hope diamond, this pearl was never simply an accessory. It was a statement of discernment and believed to originate from the Persian Gulf near Bahrain, a region that produced some of the world's most extraordinary natural pearls. The Hope Pearl is exceptional not because it conforms to ideals, but because it defies them. At approximately 5 centimeters long, weighing around 450 carats, it is enormous, a drop-shaped pearl, unapologetically irregular. Its coloration moves from greenish gold to almost white, refusing uniformity. Today displayed at London's Natural History Museum, Hope Pearl fascinates not only gem experts, but anyone sensitive to natural anomalies. A reminder that nature's most powerful creations often break symmetry. The Hope Pearl does not symbolize purity, it symbolizes survival, and that is precisely why it resonates now. So, what are we going to do with this information today? In today's world, I can say your pearl is your power. The first thing is that the modern pearl is not inherited. It is chosen by you. It is worn not to align with tradition, but to converse with it, to contradict it when necessary, to carry the history that you are probably making. So pearls today are personal emblems. They reflect how a woman moves through the world with restraint, with depth, with selective visibility. They no longer announce arrival, they reveal orientation. And perhaps this is the ultimate transformation. Pearls were never meant to sit behind glass or rest quietly in velvet boxes. They were meant to be lived with, absorbed, touched, beyond the tiara, beyond the stereotype, beyond the expected. Pearls have returned to where they always belonged, in the hands of those who understand their power. To explore art, beauty, and the passion behind them, check Classybyher.com. But in the meantime, watch the next episode.